Hi guys, welcome to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are going to build a small little cottage in the country, and the occasion for this is, of course, the new kits that are out now for The Sims 4. It's a new Art of Pack style, and it's a little bit smaller, and it comes in like the different kind of play styles that, you know, the Simmers have. So we would have a CAS, like a Create a Sim, a gameplay kind of kit, and a builder's kit. So of course the builder's kit is the country kitchen kit. Specifically for me, that wasn't something that I totally liked off, but I talked about it with some builders on Twitter and whatnot. Feel free to follow me if you want to. And they were actually all quite excited about it. I personally also think that, you know, the kits kind of make a little bit more sense, but maybe we talk about this a little bit later. So first of all, it's a little cottage because the kitchen itself from the country kitchen kit, oh my god, that's such a hard thing to say, country kitchen kit, is a little bit more, yeah, land, countryside kind of, well, yeah, it's called country kitchen, but you know what I mean. I first thought about, like, it's a cottage. And since CottageCore is kind of like a thing right now, right? I thought, well, I always wanted to build a cottage again. Under these circumstances, this kind of makes sense now, and we could use the kitchen. So this is the base game only and the new kit built. I didn't use any of the other packs because usually I always try to build something with the base game and the new pack to see how it well emerges into the base game. Is this giving you any value, you know, if you just have base game and want to consider about if you need that pack? Or if you need that kit in this case now. I really have to get used to it being called kits. Anyways, this was built in the Brindleton Bay area. This is a world that you get if you have cats and dogs, but since this is a 30 by 20 big lot, I think you can get it, you know, place it wherever you want, Willow Creek or whatever. I especially love that it has the thatched roof that we have in base game, and I really thought the thatched roof kind of makes it really look like a small little cottage. I kind of think it's also a little bit more medieval, and I really love the blue shutters for the house because it's like a nice contrast to the rest of the cottage, and I kind of think it looks so cute. I kind of really would like to live in that kind of cottage. I'm personally more of a person that would love to live in a countryside. Personally, I'm not like a big fan of living in a city. I used to for a very long time, and I think in my 20s was really cool because, you know, there's lots of stuff going on in the city and it's kind of exciting. But now I'm too old. I'm an old soul now. I want to live in the countryside. So this kind of was also a thing, like, how would I like to have my little cottage? But during building this, you can already see the rainbow door. I was like, I think the Sims that I personally would move in there is a lesbian couple, and they are living the CottageCore goals right here. So I think later on I will change the rainbow door to just the pride flag, because the door had to be, you know, two doors, like a two-swing door. I wanted to be a big entrance kind of door, and sadly the rainbow door is just rainbow on one side. And I was like, okay, let's use a pride flag then. Landscaping was actually quite fun because in base game we have nice foliage that suit the whole cottage vibe, in my opinion. It's okay, you can work with them. And throughout the updates, I think we even got a little bit more plants. I'm not even that sure. Like always, these kinds of base game builds that I do, because the kit is really small. It doesn't have that many objects though. Hence the price tag, I think, is $5, but I'm not so sure. Is it $5 or $6? Something around these lines. And it truly just gives you the objects for build and buy mode. And I really like that because usually, you know, of course I got this kit for free because I'm in Game Changer and they gave it to me to, you know, test this out, which I'm doing right here. But I think because I have been, you know, building in The Sims and playing The Sims since Sims 1, and I have of course always bought like all of the packs, but sometimes some packs I didn't buy just because I didn't like the build and buy stuff that came with it. And the new kits basically gives me the option to opt out of all the stuff that I have through all the packs that I never use, which would usually be, you know, all of the cast objects, all of the clothing that comes with a new pack. And also, since I don't play that much with the game, it's very basic how I play The Sims. The gameplay is also mostly not used, but is, you know, introduced through some packs. So I actually really enjoy the the kit kind of idea behind it. I know there's lots of controversies about this, and yeah, I know that like people will complain now, oh yeah, she's a game changer, probably she's paid to say this. No, I'm not. So yeah, my final review for this is, even though the country kitchen personally is nothing that I, you know, would have loved to see right away, this is not like a style that I personally thought, oh, we really needed that. But yeah, since talking to some of my builder friends, they were all like, oh yeah, that's a really good kitchen. So apparently I'm the odd one out here. And I think I personally would have never got me the dust kit. I think that's the gameplay kit that gets you vacuums. I mean, yeah, I jokingly already called it the dirt kit, and who would ever like a dirt kit? But this one is apparently also for the game players, and the game players are actually quite excited about this kind of stuff. So I'm, you know, who am I to judge? Play with whatever you like. And I think the CAS kit is called Throwback Fit Kit, which is like 90s fitness attire. Also something I was not like, no, I would have not bought them myself. The gameplay pack, Bust the Dust, and like the throwback fit, no. I think I would have never got them, personally. I still don't miss them. I personally also say there are a couple of objects in the kit, in the country cottage kit, that I personally enjoy, which is this little shelf that you can see here in the living room. I use this it's actually a shelf. And I used it a lot here for little ornaments or adornments for the other things. For example, over the windows, as you can see. I use it over the bed in the bedroom, over the fireplace, you know, different kind of stuff to experiment how this can kind of be incorporated all over. And I really like some of the counters because they're way more detailed than, of course, some stuff that comes in the base game kitchens. You know, the base game kitchens are quite, yeah. Although I think one of the more expensive base game kitchen counter sets are quite similar looking, but they are not as different looking for the different types, like the corner, the end piece and whatnot. So here you have more change, and it kind of looks a little bit more lived in, a little bit more detailed. So I really, really like this, that they focus more on these kinds of objects in these kits. So I'm looking forward to what they have up in store next. I honestly don't know how big of a deal this is going to be for builders. I personally think maybe next up should be something they add more of wallpaper, more stones, and like more friezes and spandrels, for example, and columns. Because in base game, there's not really that much difference, you know, between these kinds of types or styles. So I would like to see more of that, since it's like a building kit. So that would be, for my personal taste, a little bit more interesting to get more friezes and spandrels and trims and whatnot. Maybe also roofing. Roofing is kind of like a thing that they kind of dismiss a lot of times. And yeah, I would like to see that more than stuff that we already have, like a kitchen. Do you know what I mean? So I personally thought maybe something that base game itself that lacks a lot. And I wouldn't have personally said it's a kitchen, but apparently it is. Okay, so the game, it's the build itself is, yeah. I mean, I really would like to live there. Hence, lots of musical instruments and plants all around. Through the pandemic, I have kind of built up an overly unhealthy desire to buy plants. And husband has already told me I'm not allowed to buy anymore, which I will do. I already have like in my baskets on Amazon and whatnot, and through like, you know, plant collector sites and whatnot. I have so many stuff already bookmarked. They're like, oh, I want to get this one. I want to get this one. So yeah, my living room already looks a little bit like a jungle. But yeah, not quite. I'm working on it, but it's probably gonna happen and fulfill, in 2021. I guess so. I tried to use in all of the rooms, some of the country kitchen stuff. It's kinda, it's a kitchen, so if you use as an end table or something, you can use these counters, but otherwise it's kind of hard to use them. So I use them as kind of dresser looking counters, in the living room, of course in the kitchen as normal kitchen counters. I mean, that makes sense. And I also try to incorporate them as end tables and whatnot, and use some of course, new decoration. The clutter is quite cute. The thing I don't like about this country kitchen is the colors again. I mean, that has been an issue for a while. It doesn't come in any other wooden color than in this birch, kind of very light wood. And the rest are colorful swatches. Like there's a pink, there's 2 greens, I think, 2 light blues, a bright yellow, and so on. And it's kind of... Yeah, I personally would have liked this to be in also a darkened wooden color, so it looks a little bit more suiting for medieval kind of builds, because actually the layout of this makes it look a little bit more like late medieval furniture. But yeah, again, the Sims team failed on this here because the color, I mean, it's very colorful. It kind of fits, of course, the comic style that the Sims have. But yeah, I think the wooden swatches would have been nicer here to have at least a brown, dark brown, not really black, but like a light brown maybe at least. But yeah, I kind of failed on this in my opinion. And I try to use these counters here a lot in the little gables that I have in the roof, kind of like as little, dressers again or something, some kind of shelves, whatever, to put stuff in there. And I also thought during gameplay, your Sims collect quite a lot of stuff, be it frogs or stones or fishes and whatnot, and they can place them there, so they have lots and lots of space for that. And of course lots of plants and planters, because I think it's a cottage and probably whoever is living here has a green thumb, or wants to have a green thumb, is working on having a green thumb, like me. Of course, the counters are quite useful for a bathroom. So here you will also see my bathrooms. There are 2 of them, one upstairs, one downstairs. So I use, of course, the sink and some of the counters here. I think it's quite cute for exactly these kind of CottageCore, kind of cottages, country houses. And since they are so detailed, they have a lot of value also for every other residential. I don't see this country kitchen being used like, I don't know, like in a fancy restaurant build, or I don't know, it's kind of very niche in my opinion. But I know that this is a play style, like a style that lots of Simmers enjoy and also build. I mean, I see on the gallery lots of cottages and kind of more of these kind of cutesy, whimsical builds. So yeah, I think that suits the style, and I think the majority of the Sims players will really enjoy this. If you want to pay $6, $5, I really don't know the price again. It's definitely under 10. It's smaller than the stuff pack. I kind of like the idea of, them bringing back more fixed sets, so to speak, or kits. I think I personally would enjoy something like the Sims store again. So I can really just download and buy stuff that I really use in the game, which for me personally, of course, would be build stuff like objects and whatnot. And I would totally skip on all of the dressing up stuff because I really don't care that much. I think the base game is sufficient for me, but I'm just not a dressing up Sims and creating, life forms that much in the game. But yeah, then I would skip those and just, get more of stuff I use for the money than in the pack, because there are always stuff in the pack that I personally don't really use. I don't know how it is about you. Feel free to write me any feedback about the kits. Is this like a total ripoff? Am I seeing something wrong here? I mean, we are all desperately waiting for a Sims 5 to be announced, or at least are they even working on it? Will there be a Sims 5? How many packs will there be in the future? What kind of packs do you really, really want? And even, is this like so necessary to have a gameplay pack, a stuff pack and whatnot? Like, is this a thing? So yeah, let me know. I'm always open for a discussion. opinion. So write that in comments down below, and I'm eager to, you know, have a little discussion about this. Maybe I have not tackled something about the kitchen stuff here. Here you can see some swatches. I basically really love the yellow, the white, and the green. And yeah, maybe you have seen something that really inspired you. Feel free to give this a thumbs up if you liked it, give it a thumbs down if you didn't like it, and I hope to see you soon in another video. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.